Welcome back to You Plus You podcast. I am your host, Markia. Before we start today's episode, please pause and get whatever you choose to get to take notes with. Because in today's episode, I'm going to actually walk you through a very powerful mental life hack. And it is very vital that you capture these notes so that you are able to reflect on it later. When situations happen to you, do you initially see those situations or that particular situation as negative? I'll ask it this way. Do you often think negatively? If your answer is, well, Marquis, it's really just contingent upon the situation, or if your answer is, yes, I do think negatively often. Today's episode, I am going to give you steps on changing your negative thought process. This is a powerful mental life hack, and what it does is it is about reframing your mental thought or mental reframing. This technique involves changing the way you perceive and interpret events, situations, and thoughts to create a more positive and empowering perspective. So, if you're ready for the ride, let's go. So here's how you can use mental reframing to transform your mindset. Number one, you must identify negative thoughts. You're going to do this by paying attention to your internal dialogue and identify negative or unhelpful thoughts. Because what happens is these thoughts often manifest themselves as self-criticism or some type of catastrophic thinking, but it is not helping you. So when that negative or those negative thoughts arrive or arise in your mind, you're going to pause. Because you want to catch that thought right then and there. Number two, you're going to challenge the negative thought by questioning how valid it is. Ask yourself if there is evidence to support any of those negative thoughts, or if they're really based on an assumption or some irrational fear. So you're going to challenge those negative thoughts by questioning where they are coming from. Number three, you're going to reframe that particular situation. You're going to do this by replacing the negative thought or negative thoughts with more positive or realistic interpretations. Consider an alternative perception or perspective. And then focus on the potential opportunities or lessons in that situation, right? So think of one particular situation that happened to you. Even though that particular situation was uncomfortable, or maybe it was actually a positive situation, but when you initially thought about it, you initially saw it or perceived it as negative. So take that same situation and then you're going to reframe the situation by looking at it from a very positive perspective or place. What can you get out of it that's going to help you to be a better person, to become stronger, right? An example, we can all relate to this: losing a job. Let's just say you love this job, or that you really, really needed this job. However, you lost it for whatever reason. You got laid off, whatever the situation was. Can you see that as a positive? Meaning, it cleared space for you to find something better. Or maybe you learned a very valuable lesson from working there. Maybe valuable skill sets to where you're able to take those skill sets and experiences to find something better. Typically, more than likely, often, there is a positive from the negative. Period and end of story. If there's night, then there's day, right? Think about it. If there's dark, then there's light. There's always a different end of the spectrum. And so that's how you want to reframe your negative thoughts. I'm going to give you another example. You're going to take words and the negative words and then replacing it with the positive. So from saying, I can't do this, to I will do this. I am going to do this. I can't do this, to I am going to do my best. Right? So the negative thought is, I can't do this. It's too difficult. The reframed thought is, I'll do my best and I'll take it one step at a time. I am going to overcome the challenges, right? So that I am able to handle this. That's what it's about. Reframing your thought. Here's another way of doing it. From I always fail to I'm learning and growing, right? So the negative thought is I always fail at everything I try. The reframed thought is each attempt is an opportunity to learn and grow. Every failure brings me one step closer to success. Here's another way to reframe. This is a disaster. To whatever the challenge is, I can't overcome this. So the negative thought is, this is a disaster. Nothing is right. I can't overcome this. This is how you're going to reframe that. You're going to reframe the thought by saying, acknowledging the fact that it is a challenging situation. However, you have the skills and resources to overcome it. And you'll focus on finding solutions. So it sounds this way. You know what? This is a challenging situation, but I have the skills and resources to overcome it. And I'll focus on finding the solutions. Doesn't that feel better? It sounds better. It makes you come alive inside to be able to reframe that negative into a positive. Now, here are the benefits of mental reframing. Number one, it reduces stress and anxiety. Reframing helps you to manage stress and anxiety by shifting your focus from negative outcomes to positive possibilities. It increases resilience. How does it do that? You're going to increase your resilience by viewing challenges as opportunities for growth. And I've said that over and over again in previous episodes. You want to become more resilient and better equipped to handle adversities. Because when you become more resilient and more equipped with handling adversities, you're able to move through life a lot lighter and a lot softer. Another benefit of mental reframing is improved emotional well-being. I talk a lot in previous episodes about your overall well-being. Positive reframing enhances your overall emotional well being by promoting a more optimistic and hopeful outcome. When the rain stops, the sun comes out. Period. Right? That is what happens. And you will then listen when you see things from that perspective. And just think about when there was a storm, right? And then the sun came out. And then you heard birds chirping, right? That's the same thing. That knowing that when the storm is over, the sun will shine. It's going to. Another benefit is enhanced problem solving. A positive mindset improves your ability to think creatively and find effective solutions to whatever the problem or situation may be. Now, here are a few tips for effective mental reframing. Number one, you are going to practice this regularly. Remember, by identifying those negative thoughts, challenging the negative thoughts, and then reframing the situation, right? So make mental reframing a daily habit. The more you practice, the more natural and automatic it becomes. Then be patient with yourself. That is vital. I talk about being patient with yourself in other episodes, giving yourself grace. Changing thought patterns actually takes time and effort, right? So things don't always happen overnight, and that is okay because it allows for you to be present with yourself in those moments and recognizing the areas of opportunity, right? So be patient with yourself and recognize that process may be gradual, and that is okay. That is okay. Next, you're going to seek support if you should need it. Share your experiences with a trusted friend, family member, or maybe a therapist. They can provide valuable insights and even encouragement as you practice mental reframing. Having a great support system is important. If you don't have that support system, remember, it's about you being your best support system, right? So by incorporating mental reframing into your daily routine, you can cultivate a more positive and empowering mindset. I have to do this often. I sit with myself often. Why? Because I am still learning. I am still growing. We all are. No one has reached this pivotal place in their life where there's not room to continue to grow, right? So you're not on this journey alone. We all have our own particular journey and we do things a bit differently. But the fact of the matter is that we are all fed some negative thoughts or negative programming, and so none of us are immune to the fact that negativity is all around us. It is, how are we going to move through life and perceive what's being thrown at us? If we take those negatives and turn them into positives where they work on our behalves, listen, then again, I talk about having the tools in your toolbox. That is another tool in your toolbox. Mental reframing helps for you to move through life lighter and softer, right? So this powerful life hack that I just provided you can transform the way you perceive and navigate life's challenges. It's that human experience. We all are experiencing the human experience. So none of us can get away from that unless, of course, we're no longer here. But every day that you open your eyes is an opportunity for you to reframe how you think. And when doing so, leads to greater happiness and success, whatever that happiness and success looks like for you. I want to ask you this last question. Is there any other mental strategies or topics that you would like to explore further? Let me know. Because remember, at the end of the day, and the beginning of the day, and the middle of the day, it is you plus you will always equal you. You are and will always be the common denominator in your life. And I pray that you take these tips that I have provided you today and use them for the betterment of yourself. So until next Thursday, I am your host, Markia, and this is You Plus You Podcast. Be blessed.